Speaking on a podcast this week, the director said Paul McCartney and Elton John will appear in the film, among other real musical stars. The director Rob Reiner has said that an upcoming sequel to his 1984 documentary parody This Is Spinal Tap is scheduled to begin shooting in late February and will feature Paul McCartney, Elton John and Garth Brooks, among other stars. Spinal Tap satirized a bungled tour by a fictitious British heavy metal band of that name, as well as the process of documenting it. The film, which was mostly improvised, was inspired by The Last Waltz, a Martin Scorsese documentary about the rock group The Band. Plans for Spinal Tap 2 were first announced last year. The entertainment news outlet Deadline reported at the time that the members of the fictitious band, the actors Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer, would all return for the sequel. Over the years, the three have played real-life concerts as their Spinal Tap characters. Reiner announced new details about the Spinal Tap sequel during an episode of a podcast hosted by the comedian Richard Herring that was released on Monday. The film had initially been scheduled for release in 2024, but that was before strikes that disrupted filming schedules in Hollywood. No updated release date has been announced, according to Variety. Without elaborating, Reiner said that there would also be a few other surprise appearances in the film. For most of the podcast episode on Monday, Herring and Reiner mostly talked about Reiner's new podcast, Who Killed JFK? But they also discussed the original Spinal Tap movie, his directorial debut, which Herring said was his favorite film of all time. Asked if he regretted anything about what was and wasn't in the 1984 film, Reiner said no. And did he anticipate how influential it would prove to be? Also no. When we first previewed it, we previewed it in a theater in Dallas, Texas, and people, they didn't know what the heck they were looking at, Reiner said. They came up to me afterward and said, I don't understand. Why would you make a movie about a band that nobody's ever heard of? And they're so bad. Why would you do that? Reiner recalled, they said, you should make a movie about the Beatles or the Rolling Stones.